Hello, everyone. I am Trevor. I'm your guide through what is going on in this crazy, strange world. Okay, thanks for coming to my channel, Pioneer Spirit. I appreciate everyone who has supported the channel thus far and everyone who keeps coming to my channel and supporting. Thank you. A million thank yous, okay? Okay, so that being said, today's topic, Kid Rock, Dana White, and Bud Light. So yesterday I'm watching The Daily Wire with Matt Walsh and brought some, worthy news to my attention, I think. And I'm going to give solutions because I'm really, really tired of watching these guys out there and gals and people of all flavors bitching and moaning about stuff, but they give no solutions. And I've always said, look, watch my videos right till the very end, okay? Yeah, it helps the algorithms. Okay, yeah, but that's where I give my solutions. Most people do. They bitch, they moan, they say what grinds my gears, and then they leave you hanging. No, you got to come out with solutions. So I got some solutions, to the whole Kid Rock, Dana White, Bud Light, situations that are going on right now. So it's brought to my attention yesterday. I'm watching, Kid Rock on Tucker, and Dana White was with Tucker Carlson. And I watched a breakdown from a few guys conservative guys who was talking about it. And they don't give any solutions to this. So, here's the deal, okay? Kid Rock, what do you expect from these guys? All these guys come out, oh, Bud Light, screw that, whatever, because of their advertising with the Dylan Mulvaney fiasco a few months ago. And everybody's out on, gotta avoid this, gotta boycott this beer. I'm like, okay, I think everyone has a right to do that. But if you don't come out with solutions, you're pissing in the wind, okay? So, recently Kid Rock's, he came out and said to Tucker, hey, we gave Bud Light a black eye, but, we're going to forgive them, basically. So it makes me think, okay, Kid Rock, I can't find any information on this, but I'm sure that Bud Light has went to Kid Rock and said, hey, man, here's a briefcase of money. Can you promote our beer again? And, it's Kid Rock, right? He's already caught this summer people taking pictures of him holding a Bud Light can. So I'm like, yeah, it was all just theatrical, just BS, all from the beginning from these guys. I think a lot of these guys, it was just a lot of BS promoting themselves. Is Kid Rock getting a little long in the tooth? Probably. I mean, he's got to be my age, 50s, and still calling himself kid. So yeah, they probably gave him a big basket full or briefcase full of money. And Dana White actually came out and he was like, yeah, come on. Everybody should be drinking gallons and gallons of Bud Light. And, the boycott's over. Yay. Well, then you find out Bud Light gave Dana White $105 million to, promote their beer. Dana White, owner of the UFC. So I'm like, yeah, okay, he obviously ended his boycott there with a check for $105 million US dollars. Okay, so that changed his mind. But what I think, what I would have liked to hope, I'm thinking Kid Rock, Dana White, a lot of these guys now, there's going to be more people coming out supporting Bud Light. These guys are financially independent. I'm sure Dana White could just, sit back, not do anything. Kid Rock, I'm sure he's worth a few pennies. But they don't. What I come out with is, okay, whether you like, whatever Bud Light did, whatever the Coors Light, whatever these giant conglomerate corporation beer companies do, okay, that should be irrelevant. That shouldn't be the reason why you're not buying it. My solutions to all these, I'm going to give you 3 solutions. If you supported the ban on Bud Light, that's your prerogative. That's fine. But what did you switch to? What did you do? maybe you just don't want to drink the big brands anymore, the big conglomerates. Maybe you're already doing these solutions, but I'm going to give you 3 solutions to that Dana White and actually Kid Rock should be coming out with as well. I would love to hear guys like Matt Walsh from Daily Wire. He didn't give any solutions as far as I watched it. I'm like, he didn't come out with any concrete solutions, and neither did Kid Rock or Dana White. Now I'm Dana White and I'm Kid Rock. I'll tell you what I would do. If you were that gung ho on boycotting Bud Light, this is what I would have said, and this is what I say anyways. I would have said, brew your own beer at home. First solution, brew your own beer at home. I have done it. About 10 years ago, I brewed beer at home for the first time, okay? I'm not a brewmaster. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not some kind of chemical engineer. But I made my own beer at home. And I had about, I think it was about 500 milliliter brown glass bottles with the nice, the metal pop top off on it. Not a cap. I mean, a really nice enclosed cap on there that, you have to pop off. And I think I made about 100 bottles the first time. And, I'm worried, right? I'm like, did you do it right? And is everything fine? Out of I think it was about 100 bottles, I know I had about 2 or 3 bottles that you popped the top and it was just a dud. Okay, there's no carbonation. So, you get 2 or 3, maybe 4 bottles out of 100 that aren't good. And I'm telling you right now, I'm no brewmaster, but the first time I ever made beer, it was delicious. It was delicious. Now, little disclosure too, I don't drink anymore. I just don't drink anymore. But if you're going to drink beer, this is what I recommend. So make it at home. Okay? Honestly, I'm not a brewmaster, but I was able to make beer at home, and it turned out it was some of the best tasting beer I've ever had. Okay? I'm a Canadian, so I can tell you about good beer. So, and I made it 2 or 3 more times after that. In total, I've made beer, I think, 3 or 4 times in my life. Since about 10 years ago, I started doing it. And each time, I'd have about 2, 3, maybe 4 bottles out of 100 that duds. You open them up, there's no carbonation. The rest of them you open up, and they were fine. Just a really good tasting beer. Okay, so brew your own beer at home. You want to do the Bud Light boycott? Okay, this is what you do. That's the first solution. That's one solution. Make your own beer at home. If you're not inclined to do that, okay, this is my second solution. Now, this was big. I mean, I remember back in the 90s, a few friends of mine doing this. I don't even know if they're around anymore because, I don't drink anymore. I don't drink, so I don't know. But it used to be places called U-Brew. And, you just go down to your whatever local plaza or mall or wherever they are, local. And, they go in, they set you up with everything. They'll say, what kind of beer you like, the whole 9 yards, right? You just got 1 yard to do, and, they do all the cleaning and everything. So it takes a lot of the work that you do at home and eliminates it for you. You pay, obviously, you're going to pay a bit more than what you would pay it to make it at home. But if that's the route you want to do, okay, I totally think that's a fantastic route. Go to a U-Brew and make your own beer. Okay, that's solution 2. Solution 3, go to your local small microbreweries, small businesses, locally run, maybe just, they're just brewing beer for their local community, maybe for your province or state, but that's about it, okay? They're very small microbreweries. That's my third solution. Go to them. Go to them and support them. Unless somehow out of one of those 3 solutions they're on board with whatever Bud Light did, and you're just gonna have to do your bit of work. Maybe a small microbrewery over here supports what Bud Light did. Well, go to the another one. Go find another one. Okay, there's always solutions to the problem. Okay, there's always solutions, and this is what grinds my gears. Is I'm not seeing any of these prominent people out there, conservatives out there saying, "Oh, boycott Bud Light," but they don't really come out with solutions. Like, I don't know, maybe they've never brewed beer at home. They didn't get their hands dirty. Well, I tell you right now, those solutions, that's what you do. And whether Bud Light had done what they had done anyways, if that bothers you, I mean, you should be, you know what? It feels so good to make your own beer at home, okay? It was so good. I remember I was so proud. I was like, oh my God. And like I say, I was first batch I ever made, I was scared that, am I going to get sick? Stomach problems or whatever. And no, never got sick. Never got sick on the beer I made myself at home. Like I say, just 2-3 bottles were, they didn't have carbonation to them. That's fine. Out of like 100 bottles, man, that's fantastic. Yeah, and then, your next step, you brew, and then, microbreweries. Or incorporate all 3 of those solutions into your life. If you like beer, I'm telling you right now, the best beer I ever had in my life is the beer I made, and beer that a friend of mine back in the 90s made at a place called U-Brews. Okay? That's the solution to this. So, that's what I think Dana White and Kid Rock. Could Dana White go around the United States like he was talking about? It pisses me off, but I'm like, another part of me is like, fuck, man, they gave him $105 million. So obviously, that was his price to turn around and, point the ship in the direction Bud Light wanted. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you $105 million. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, go out and drink gallons and gallons of Bud Light. I don't know how wealthy Dana White is. But I just been thinking about, since I watched that yesterday, Matt Walsh's show, and I think, could Dana White, because he was out there going, I'm a patriot, Bud Light's a patriotic American beer. It's not even owned by Americans. Would he have been better off to say, hey, listen, I don't like what Bud Light did. I still don't like what they did. And we I'm running the UFC, running it, owning it, whatever his capacity there is. I'm going to go out and I'm going to go around America, or he's going to hire his marketing staff to go out to every state in America and go find the microbreweries and see if they can invest in the UFC. Okay, could 100 microbreweries in the U.S. give him $105 million? Probably not. He's probably not going to get. You could get into the millions. A small brewery here. Maybe a small brewery could donate and say, look, we can give you $125,000 or something. Okay. I know that's peanuts compared to the 150, but maybe if Dana White went around and said, I've got 120 100% American-owned breweries that are sponsoring here, I'd have more respect for Dana White. Now, is he going to, again, he's not, maybe he thought of that route. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure that route isn't going to garnish him $105 million, greens, that nice American U.S. dollars. That's not going to, he's not going to get that. But at least to me, it sends a message that, look, I can be bought, and I guess Dana White was he was able to be bought for $105 billion. But could he have afforded to come out and say, no, I'm going to go out to every state in America, and I want my team to go around and advertise and have microbreweries come to Dana White and his staff and say, look, hey, we got $100,000, or $50,000 or whatever. And Dana White's great. I got, a list of companies, and start rebuilding America that way. Because when he talks about Bud Light and their patriotic American, it's not even, might be made in America, but it's not American owned. And part of the reason why I started this channel, Pioneer Spirit. You know, even as a Canadian, I recognize the pioneer spirit needs to be reinvigorated into America, into Canada, into every, so-called democratic nation on this third rock from the sun. So I just wonder, and Kid Rock as well too. What's stopping him from saying, "Hey, I've got 50 microbreweries here in Michigan. Maybe the part of the world he comes from. The states around the Great Lakes there. Maybe he could have went around and said to them, and down to southern states. He seems to like to go down to the southern states and the states up around the Great Lakes. Maybe he could have went around and got a whole bunch of microbreweries and said, "Hey, what do you got? What do you I'll give you some whatever, give us 50 grand or something, and this is what you can get." And start reinvigorating that pioneer spirit in America again by completely supporting the small local businesses around there. Okay? Like Bud Light, like I don't get the whole we got to drink Budweiser or something. I guarantee you can make a beer 100 times better than Bud Light, just in your home, okay? Or the local U brew. Or I'm guaranteeing you, your local small brewery, your microbreweries are going to brew you up a beer freaking way better than you're going to get with a Bud Light, okay? So those are I guess what grinds my gears today, seeing a lot of guys making videos about now supporting Bud Light. And I'm like, okay, I guess so. Now they're wanting to support it only because of the money. It's only because of the money. It's not because they're patriotic, American-made beer. They're not. And then you have the guys complaining about those guys, like Matt Walsh complaining about Kid Rock and Dana White. But meanwhile, not really coming out with any solutions. Like, the Matt, like I'm asking you, if you happen to watch my video, like, do you make your own beer at home? Do you go to a local U brew? Do you go to your local? I bet you he does. Maybe he just didn't mention that. But you have to mention these kind of solutions. If you're wanting to have 100% American made, support the local companies that, even the microbreweries. You go up and you pick up these kits from the U brews and whatnot. Like, go and get the kits to make your own beer. Okay, those are my solutions. Don't know what really more to add to that. Just disappointed. I am disappointed in the Kid Rocks and Dana Whites of the world, but I'm not surprised. I mean, they were all like $105 million, Dana White. Yeah, I guess, that's quite a bit of dineros to turn down. But I think morally and ethically, it would have been better for him to come out and say, "Hey, I was offered hundreds of millions of dollars from Bud Light or whoever, and I've turned them down, and we're going on a campaign around America to get as many small microbrews as we can that are 100% American made, because that's what you should be drinking down." And that's how you reinvigorate the pioneer spirit and the patriotic spirit in America. That's how you do it. 100% American made there. Okay? All right. If you made it this far to the show, thank you. A million thank yous. Please like and share and subscribe and comment. I love it. I love everything about, doing this. I need your support, though. So that all helps me out. So thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.